One of the main complaints I hear from men in marriage is that there is a lack of physical intimacy in the marriage. Whereas with women, one of the main issues I hear is there's a lack of emotional intimacy in the marriage. Now, which comes first? So ideally, the emotional intimacy should create the environment for the physical intimacy, and the physical intimacy will be a natural outgrowth of the emotional intimacy. So, given that, how does a person build, how does a person create emotional intimacy? So I'd like to share with you 13 techniques or maybe methods or approaches to help to build and create emotional intimacy. So the first one is very important, listening to our spouse with understanding and empathy, to really put ourselves in our spouse's shoes, to share their experience with them, to show them that we understand that we're with them. And definitely not to defend ourselves, but to be with our spouse, to understand our spouse. Number two, doing things our spouse likes. Oftentimes we assume what our spouse wants, and we do what we assume that they want, which might be a projection of what we want. But really, really listening and hearing what our spouse likes, what our spouse wants, and doing things that our spouse likes. Accepting, not trying to change our spouse, but accepting them as they are. When we try to change another person, it tends to create resistance and resentment. But really accepting the whole person. When a person feels accepted, it's relaxing. It opens the breathing. It just enables them to feel freer and definitely closer to the other person. Consistently making time to spend together, initiating time, enjoying spending time together, being together, sharing your world, your inner world with your spouse, letting them get to know you, share your fears, your concerns, your thoughts, your insights, and showing a desire to know your spouse's inner world, asking them questions, showing interest, allowing them to express their emotional world, their ideas, their day, etc. Sharing each other's inner world creates a deep closeness together. Showing that you appreciate and that you value your spouse. Oftentimes, husband and wife are doing so many things in the home, running this way and running that way, and they're doing things for the home and doing things for each other, and showing that we notice and that we appreciate and we value. It definitely creates closeness. Noticing your spouse and being responsive to cues. If they sigh, notice, ask them. If they make a comment, perhaps they share something, a certain look in their eyes, a certain way their posture is. Notice things, notice cues, and ask about them. Showing that you notice creates closeness. A person feels seen. They don't feel invisible, but they feel seen. Consistent acts of kindness. Showing your spouse that you want to do for them. That could be giving to them, making them a cup of a hot drink. It could be asking if they need help with anything, but just acts of kindness, doing for the other person. The whole idea of marriage is not receiving, but it's giving to the other person. Now, this is very important. Inevitably, there ends up being conflict from time to time between husband and wife, but don't let that conflict linger. Don't let it linger for 2 days, 3 days, a week. It just creates more negative feelings, more resentment. Heal, repair, approach your spouse as quickly as possible. That might mean apologizing. It might mean accepting an apology, but repairing and healing as quick as you can. Being present when you're together. Being present. Being present when you're together means putting down your phone. Even putting those thoughts out of your mind that might be distracting you, putting aside your worries, just being with your spouse, being with them fully and having them feel that you're with them 100%. It creates exceptional closeness. Touch, a warm hug, a caring hug. That physical touch creates closeness, emotional closeness. A warm smile, being happy to see your spouse, being receptive to see them. Again, noticing them, smiling at them, and creates closeness. So emotional closeness is an investment. It takes time, but the emotional closeness will, as a natural result, tend to lead to the physical intimacy. But when there's a foundation of emotional intimacy and closeness between a husband and wife, then the physical intimacy will be much more rewarding and close and as it should be for both husband and wife.